the best way I can describe it is I didn't dislike it,
Okay.
but I wasn't so like dismayed by it that I was angry at it, or like it just basically was one of those movies where I was like, that's fine. It kind of just rolled off my back and went on my day after seeing it. I wasn't like so pissed off that I was like ranting and raving about it, and also like definitely not supporting or championing it. I feel like it felt antiquated in several ways. I saw a lot of people's reviews say it felt like a thriller or an action movie from like 2006 Unstuck in Time.
Is that the same year he did War of the Worlds?
Yeah, just about. I think that was 2005. I feel like the government kind of sort of already did this like a couple months ago or even a year ago. Is they kind of released some shocking stuff about possible non-human entities. I think that's the new preferred term. By and large, most people are like, that's great. We're all going to kill ourselves because the world is like falling apart. Unless they're coming in to save us or give us some crazy technology, we don't care about the mere existence. They need to actually have like an impact on us.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I liked it, didn't love it. I thought it was like entertaining but forgettable. I think maybe like the best way I could put it is it was average. It was barely average, maybe. I think my biggest issues with this movie is the story itself. I think Spielberg does his job as a director, as his job with the actors, with the camera, and all that. I think he does his typical Spielberg thing, and I didn't have a problem with any of that. But the story itself, it had a lot of holes in it.
Okay.
Some points of it didn't make sense. Some points of it I didn't quite understand, like what we were trying to convey here. And we've talked about David Coop on the podcast before. Obviously, we know he's worked with Spielberg a lot. He did the adaptation for Jurassic Park, right? I don't want to talk out of my butt. But.
David Coop, I believe. Yes, I think that's correct. Yeah. It was the joint effort between David Coop and Michael Crichton.
But with Disclosure Day, one thing I was confused by: why were Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt, quote unquote, I guess like selected?
I don't think they explained why there was any specificity that the aliens only chose 2 children.
But I feel like we needed that because throughout the movie, so much emphasis were put on how special they were and how meaningful they were to all of this.
Right.
So I feel like there needed to be some kind of payoff or a reason why they were selected besides them just being 2 random kids who were selected and then lost the memory of being selected.
Yeah.
So I felt that was, the writing was very flawed with that. And I thought Emily Blunt was very good. I think she was the best part about this movie.
Probably, yeah.
When she had her quote unquote powers and the way she was interacting and dealing with people, I thought she was really good. And I thought she played really well with, was that Wyatt Russell who played like her boyfriend? Mm-hmm. I thought he was good.
No.
Comedic relief, I guess, if you want to call it that's what he was.
Wyatt Russell's always good.
Yeah. So I enjoyed Emily Blunt. I thought she was very good. I thought Josh O'Connor was decent. He was fine.
He was fine. I feel like I've seen him, now that he's like sort of like popping off, I've seen him in other better things.
Yeah. And then a character and an actress, Jane, Eve Houston's character, I feel like they could have done more with her.
Yes.
It seemed like she was playing a larger role in the beginning of things, but then like once they separated, she just kind of disappeared. Fun fact, that's Bono's daughter, by the way.
I knew she looked familiar.
You think she looks like Bono?
I think so, a little bit.
Okay, interesting. So
I see it now.
Okay. Felt like she was playing an intricate part in the movie and the story. And then, I guess maybe halfway through, if you want to call it that, whenever they were kind of done with her, when he needed to separate from her, she's kind of just like disappeared. Yeah. And then they randomly dropped her in during some scenes, and she kind of just comes back at the end. I don't want to call it lazy writing. I don't know. I just felt like they didn't know what to do, so we'll just be done with her for now.
I feel like this script needed a few more passes to tighten up everything.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt a little bit too disconnected.
Yes.
And I feel like if you start poking and prodding at it, you're like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Like, what's going on here?
Well, that's what we do here.
Yeah, exactly. The element was on the table of, okay, we're doing a story about extraterrestrial life, so now we have a character who has this like religious perspective.
Yes.
But it wasn't really fully explored in a clean and meaningful way. It was just kind of there. Again, like there's all these like building blocks, but they weren't like refined to be put together.
I did like her scene with Colin Firth when she's in the kitchen of that house.
Yeah.
He's diving on her, quote unquote diving. Mm-hmm. So I thought she had a really good scene there. Colin Firth, speaking of him, I felt like he was miscast in his role.
A little bit, yeah.
Has he ever played a villain? He just doesn't give me villain vibes at all.
He must have, but nothing's coming to mind.
The most villainous thing about him in this role was his accent. I feel like a good villain always needs his accent. But outside of that, I didn't feel he didn't feel menacing enough to me. He felt like someone who's trying to be menacing. It just wasn't coming off as very natural to me.
The chase sequence. I think that me just being the action guy, gotta mention it every episode. I really like the chase sequence, like with the car against the train and everything. And also I like the chase sequence where Jane in the back seat was like trying to stab him.
Oh yeah,
That was filmed very like Hitchcockian.
that was good. The bad of that scene though, and something that was a theme throughout, was those agents were terrible.
Oh, they were awful.
Like, how do you go all those? It was like 30 dudes, and how do you not secure their house? Like, how did he just sneaks up behind and steals a car that he crashes into a tree, and you still can't get him? This is the equivalent of stormtroopers with bad aim.
Right.
Yeah, those agents were terrible for that. I forget what was the name of that company.
Wordex.
Wordex.